Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Wyld. Today we are talking about I've been reactivated on Doordash, but so for those of you who've been following me for a while, I was actually deactivated on Doordash just before my channel's inception, which was crazy. And I've been making videos about gig companies, including Doordash, so people don't have to feel too dependent on Doordash long term. So that way, in the event that you can get deactivated, which it is always possible, you can be financially okay. Not to mention provide information to everyone who wants to keep money in their own pockets long term. However, I decided to make a Hail Mary attempt at hopping back onto Doordash by appealing my deactivation again, something that has been proven ineffective multiple times in the past, but it suddenly worked for me this time. So in this video, we are talking about how I was reactivated on Doordash, what they were saying about it versus how it actually is, and everything in between. But before we do that, let's go over a quick disclaimer. The content of this video does not contain and is never intended to be legal, business, financial, tax, or health advice of any kind. This video is for entertainment, educational, and informational purposes only. It is advised that you conduct your own research and consult with qualified professionals before applying anything you find online. I also want to be clear that everything that we're going to be going over is very market to market and case by case. What applies to me in my market or your market or any of the markets that I used to work in that I may mention in this video may not apply to you. So with that said, let's get started. Appealing my deactivation. So while I am working through some stuff for my attorney and for my overall future, I had a weird thought come into my mind to just try it appealing for my deactivation on Doordash again. I wanted to test out the Tasker app that they just released, and I was concerned that if I were to complete one of these tasks, I would be blocked from doing so on there as well. After all, if they won't let me on one side, what makes me think I can hop onto the other if they're using the same systems to do so? So I took a shot in the dark, asked ChatGPT to help me draft an appeal that would make sense given my situation, and just sent it out. And before I knew it, I was getting my background check to be a checker. I got a pre-adverse action notice because they thought I was still in New York. And I guess that's what happens when you move from New York to Florida and they decide to deactivate you before you can change your address. But regardless, I got denied initially, saying that I was deactivated. There was no evidence showing that I got better and it was just going to stick. And in my mind, I already thought that was a win. Before I got that email, I really didn't have an idea of why I was still deactivated. Now I had a reason and I could use that in my next appeal. I plan to provide additional evidence showing that I had continued working professionally in delivery and logistics without incident, and I was working on myself through professional means. And that said, before I could do any of that, I receive another email saying,
"Actually, there is no violation. You will be reactivated in 24 hours.
It's kind of strange how we went from no reason and deactivated to valid reason and deactivated to no reason and reactivated. But I would be remiss if I was going to look at a gift horse in the mouth. And in all honesty, I thought this was such a prank. Like, did I just get reactivated or is somebody just getting their kicks right now? And sure enough, I logged into the app, they verified my identity, and I was back on the app from the app that once deactivated me. Kind of. Crazy wake-up call. I know I am logging into the same app that deactivated me in the past. Like, I didn't uninstall it or reinstall it, but damn, what an overhaul of the app I once knew. Dash Now was available at any time, but you still have a schedule tab. There was a new rating system layered on top of the old ones, the overall rating system, which initially placed me into silver status before I immediately lost it. And don't even get me started on the workflow of the orders themselves. It is like a whole new app that I'm looking at. And that said, I found that very interesting. From how I started working on Doordash for a while, I ended up thinking that I have a few new systems to accommodate for. I think if anybody is coming back to Doordash after not being on the app for a while, I was deactivated since 2021. It is 2026. There are definitely some things to be aware of when coming back. While I can't go through all of them until I've thoroughly experienced the app further down the line, I can break them down for sure. Overall rating is crazy liquid. First off, it is very easy to be tempted to lower your standards to accept lower quality orders to increase your overall rating to get to platinum sooner, and maybe initially just to get your first 100 through, but don't make it a habit. Be vigilant just to get above 100 orders done within the past 30 days or whatever that looks like, so you can keep your standards high. Remember, quality over quantity. Hidden tip system has been overhauled. Second, I took some orders thinking there's a fair possibility of a hidden tip just like there was in the past. And now that I am experiencing it further, that's not true anymore. Or more appropriately, that's not true in the same way that it was back in the day. I was deactivated before I could experience higher paying orders or plus sign orders, which are now more definitive signs of hidden tips. And not to mention, I have yet to see one plus sign order. Again, I am just hopping back on, so this could be a previous line of thinking taking over, but man, does it feel like a rude wake-up call when you take an order for $8 going 3.4 miles, and the order doesn't have a hidden tip. Then I received a hidden tip order for $12.50 going 5.4 miles, which then jumped to $17.50. Which is definitely indicating a hidden tip system, but why was there no plus sign? Is that still a thing? It isn't like I was going to ignore a solid paying order like that to begin with, so do they only show it when they need to sell me on an order which seems borderline worth my time? I might be the crazy one here, but we will see, because I really have to learn how this app works again in order to make any final determinations. Receipt scanning. I've been noticing how every order requires me to scan the receipt or take a picture of the receipt upon acceptance of an order I have to pick up. And holy crap, does that solve so many problems with the restaurant to Dasher relationship challenge that have been plaguing the gig economy. Having a driver scan the receipt to ensure that they have the right order and they accept the order they receive is so smart, and I don't think enough people talk about that. I'll say this though, if they ask me to do that and give me a hard time after I do that, or give me the treatment, then I'm gonna be livid. I think it is a fair policy to ask if they handed you everything, and if they respond with yes, you scan and you leave. But don't cause problems for drivers by forcing them to accept an order without any accountability on their end. Dash Now is always on. One of the benefits of Platinum or Top Dasher back in the day is the fact that you have the ability to dash now when others have to schedule ahead. However, those who were responsible and planned ahead through the scheduling system were always able to make more because they had some level of priority over those who are just dashing now. But now it feels like getting online is far easier than it used to be, but that doesn't necessarily mean the quality of opportunities have improved. I am sure it is a market-to-market thing, but nevertheless, it is wild to me that as long as the app lets you hop on, you can basically just stay online indefinitely. I am sure there are more things to learn as I go, but as of now, at my 3 or 4 days of re-experiencing this app, these are my opinions on it, what I am seeing so far. Better for multi-apping, worse for solo. One of the things I used to say about Doordash is that it's a great pillar app. Like, you can main Doordash as an income source, and as you go, you add more apps to your gig portfolio to fill in the gaps that this app just doesn't accommodate for, such as Uber Eats, Grubhub, catering apps, last mile delivery, medical courier, etc. Something that may be better in the morning rather than business hours, or something better during business hours rather than the evenings. And that said, ever since I started again, they all kind of just work better together, at least since I've been on it. Again, the ratings have been really liquid for me right now, so I wonder if that's going to change for me as they start to solidify. Nevertheless, I think it is interesting that regardless of how much Doordash has invested into systems that detect or discourage certain forms of multi-apping behavior, they also seem to be making the overall ecosystem better for doing so. And I wonder if that's because Doordash is still in a weird place for me, if they are using that information to be tracking something in regards to seeing who is prioritizing Doordash over other apps, or are they finally coming to terms to creating better systems for multi-apping over trying to fight that concept in general? Or am I off track entirely, and the entire reason why they made Dash Now available for everybody is not just Platinum, is to destroy the value of the scheduling system so they can make the concept of fighting for Platinum order priority more enticing? I'm not sure, but as of now, Doordash kind of looks like a part of my gig portfolio portfolio and not the pillar app that it used to be. Most principles are still the same. Regardless of this app being so different in such a jarring way, I find most of the principles are still the same. Workflow might look different, but the principle of order conduct remains the same. Hidden tips might work differently now, but the concept of maintaining a solid dollars to mile ratio still remains the same. Ratings and order types you can receive early on might be different now, but the concept of diversifying your gig portfolio and having multiple ways to earn income remains the same. So if you come back to this app for any reason, just because it looks different and feels different, doesn't mean the principles are changing with it. Don't forget your exit strategy. Another principle that this app can never change is the importance of an exit strategy. Remember, the gig economy is an income bridge to what would be a long-term goal and not the goal. And I noticed it so much more when I was on Doordash. Regardless of how happy I am to be back on Doordash, I noticed how it takes more time out of my day at times, which can lead to me to being less able to scale my business or pursue alternate forms of income. That said, it certainly isn't impossible, but it just means that I need to be more aware of stewarding my time and earning resources. And that goes for anyone who's planning on building something outside of gig work. Just be aware of how much time it takes to build something new. Final thoughts. It is good for me and I'm excited to get back to it. In fact, there are some people I haven't seen in a while because I wasn't receiving DoorDash orders, and now I'm back on DoorDash and I'm happy to have run into them again. And not to mention just having another source of income that I will have access to when I move in the near future is kind of clutch for me. I still have other plans to grow my business, and I'm excited to see how this goes and how they evolved and changed along with it. I already see some positive changes as well as some bullshit ones, and I can't wait to talk to you about all of the things I notice to all of you soon enough. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe. Check out my website, Wyld.com, if you'd like to learn more about some of the services and gig platforms we have talked about in the past and are offering to gig workers today. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. And